Well, hello friends, I'm David Vos. Today is August 27th, 2016. It's great to see everybody today. Wow, we have got a story today. I don't know why this isn't all over the news. I mean, even considering that the news is total, propaganda. I mean, I should know better than to think that any of the news organizations out there would cover the truth. But this is so intertwined and twisted and convoluted and insane that I don't even know what to make of this. And if you look this up on the internet for yourself, you'll find that nobody else knows what to make of it. There's one guy that, well, first let me just tell you, here's the story. Donald Trump had an assassination attempt that you probably haven't heard about, and if you have heard about it, you probably heard that it wasn't really an assassination attempt. It was just some drunk guy that walked into Trump Tower with a gun, and he had a right to have the gun because he had a license and he was working next door over at this jewelry shop, and he just kind of wandered in there, drunk guy off the street. None of that's true. So there are two stories, but I think we can come to the bottom, or we can get to the bottom of which story is the true story. I mean, I don't think there would be some other story. I think there's just the story that got leaked, and then there's the cover-up story, and that's what I think. But friends, you're going to have to make your own mind up. Either way, something's going down. Either one of these stories has been made up. And if it was the story that he was going to be assassinated, that was made up, and he wasn't really going to be assassinated, then that's almost as bad. Somewhere they're trying to put in our minds that Trump's going to be assassinated. But I think the actual truth is that he was about to be assassinated by the FBI. By Hillary Clinton, folks. Okay, because listen to me. The elite run the world. They got all the money. They're paying off Hillary Clinton. She's their puppet. Now, I said for a while, and I don't know if I'm going to make a public apology here, or if I'm just going to, let you in on a little secret here in my own mind. For a long time, I thought, well, Trump, he's a billionaire. He's in with them. He's a bad guy. They're running him too. Now, I still don't know for sure, but it's starting to look like it is possible that Trump is independent. Now, I have said there are different ways that they do this. These Illuminati, or whatever they are, the elite bankers, they can't control every mind, every thought, everything that goes on in this world. But they control most of our world through the banking, through religion, even what you think by, promoting religious stuff. Religion basically was mind control. MK Ultra program started years and centuries ago. Alright, friends, but that's another video. So they do control a lot, but they cannot control everyone. As we know, JFK tried to become free of this and expose it, and they had to shoot him. Now, sometimes they allow somebody to run that is a populist and people like him. But what happens is, you say, well, what happens if he wins? See, they control the election. They control the polls. We just did a video about that. They're making it look like Hillary's way ahead, and it's absolutely insane. You can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that Trump is way ahead. Just look at all the attention he's getting at his rallies. Look at the polls that you see on the YouTube. Take this poll. Who you want to, it always comes out Trump's ahead. But the mainstream media polls that they're putting on Fox News, now, again, Fox News is in with them. But again, it's this subterfuge. Fox News pretends to be for him, and you say, well, if they're talking him up, they must be for him. Why would they talk up the bad guy that they don't like? See, they just want you to think somebody's for you, but they're going to control the election. See, they think they're going to rig it so that Hillary Clinton wins. However, if Donald Trump gets more than 70% of the vote, I don't know if they can. That's something we'll have to wait and see. But friends, they don't want you to know that they tried to assassinate Donald Trump. So what I'm going to say here is that I'm not completely certain that they completely control Trump. I don't know if they ever did, but they may have noticed him kind of rising through their ranks and thinking, alright, we'll use him, we'll make a little money, and he's got these views, so we'll put him out there, make him a populist, but he's such a buffoon. He says such silly things. We'll make a big example of him, and then we'll have Hillary win, and we'll all laugh it up and chuckle a little bit, in our little parties in our castles. This could be their plan. Or perhaps they run Trump too. All I know is I've seen Trump saying some of the actual very things that I've been telling you guys, and I've never in my life ever heard a presidential campaign or a presidential nominee, someone running for president, who has ever said the things he's saying. He's saying that Obama and Hillary Clinton is the one who started ISIS, who created ISIS. Now this is one of the biggest conspiracies of all time, and he's coming right out and saying it. He's saying a lot of stuff about 9/11. He's saying he wouldn't have gone into Iraq. He's saying, sure, he may have had different opinions throughout his career, and maybe he was, for economic, financial reasons, he tried to play the liberal side for a while. But there does seem to be a lot of feelings within Donald Trump that's coming out. Whether he's an actor and he's playing this all out for us, or whether it's from his heart, I don't know. But any human being that would not vote for a person, at least if they thought that person was sincere, who is actually saying, we want to get rid of these bankers, we want to stop going into all these countries and blowing everybody up, and somebody who's saying that Obama and Hillary created ISIS and it's a big scam, I'm going to side with that person. But you say, yeah, but what if you vote for him and he turns out to be on their side? Well, friends, I don't know what to say. I mean, what he's saying he wants to do is what I would like to do in a lot of situations, a lot of things. I don't agree with some of his mannerisms and vulgarity, and at times he's been a little vulgar. I didn't agree with that in the past. But I have to say, I don't really care about political correctness right now. If he does any of the things he's saying, look, I'm not really for the border and the wall. In a real world, I'm an anarchist. And if you look that word up, that means somebody who believes in freedom. I don't believe in government and rules and laws. Now, I'm not sure that, Trump and I are completely agreeing on any of this stuff. However, under the present situation, since we have all these laws, and I don't see them all going away very soon, we are going to have to secure that border because of the people coming over here and the drugs that they're bringing over. If Trump's going to try and put a lid on these rich elite selling drugs and running us through the prisons, he may not be able to do it all just by, opening up the world of freedom, because he's not in control of Congress. So maybe at least if he gets the people saying, yeah, build this wall, that might help stop some of the drug flow. It might stop ISIS situation where they're trying to bring them over the border to scare us, create martial law. It might stop some of the corruption in Mexico. So that's probably a good thing as it stands with the way things are in this world. But I digress. Back to this story. Here's what they're saying. An armed man busted outside of Trump Tower was drunk and had no plans to shoot. Alright, so he's just walking around drunk with this gun and he walks in there. That's what their story is. They say he wasn't gunning for Donald Trump. No. He was just drunk and he didn't want to be told where to walk. Interesting. The Secret Services are standing there. They've got... And there's this belligerent drunk man with a pistol that pushes through the crowd, and he's just, he just didn't want to be told where to walk, that's it. So it says the armed man was taken into custody outside of Trump Tower with a gun, and Donald Trump had been walking nearby. They say he was a retired cop who had no plans to shoot the billionaire. Anthony Shark, 54, was walking through a secured area. A secured area. Doesn't sound... how do you get a drunk guy running around with a gun just accidentally flaying around through a secured area? It says he was walking alongside the sidewalk outside of Trump Tower on 5th Avenue. Shark, a retired NYPD officer, works as a security guard at Tony Harry Winston Jewelry, which is a store across the street from the Trump Tower, prosecutors said. He had a permit to carry the concealed weapon, they said. And sources said he had to barge through a frozen zone set up for the GOP presidential nominee's approaching motorcade. A motorcade? Okay, this is getting a little bit more interesting. They didn't tell us that originally, that this was a motorcade. This is a little bit like JFK, friends. And I really do believe that JFK was a good guy. Secret Service agents formed a human wall to try and stop Shark from pushing through, according to the court papers. Shark then attempted to push through the United States Secret Service agents that were blocking his path, the complaint says. USSS agents attempted to restrain Shark, whereupon he resisted, flaying his arms, clenching his fists, and grabbing at the agents. Interesting. Do you really think they wouldn't have shot him on the spot if he wasn't working for the FBI himself? While resisting the USSS agents, Shark repeatedly grabbed and held on to at least one USSS agent, the papers added. Agents who restrained Shark discovered a firearm in a holster, according to court papers. Shark is accused of assaulting and resisting Secret Service agents. Shark was released on his own recognizance. Really, they released him on his own recognizance, after, even according to them, resisting federal agents and assaulting them. But no, they let him go on his own recognizance. And then he was allowed to keep his gun for his job. And the federal prosecutors wanted him banned from the block, but Moses instead told him to stay out of Trump Tower. That's all they told him, just to stay out of Trump Tower. You know, you can keep your gun, and yeah, you can assault the federal agents and so forth, and no problem, right? Well, friends, here's the real story. And there is a big debate on out there running around as to which of these two stories is the correct story. Did they put out the real story and then, oops, retract that and put a fake story out there to mislead us all? Or did they put out the fake story to cover up something? Perhaps covering up the FBI trying to kill Donald Trump. Now the story is rapidly disappearing on Google, it says. The fact is, supposedly, that this gunman, his name was Barry Bush, and he was taken into custody by the Secret Service, and they said the true story that he had an unstamped Glock with a silencer and no serial number on the gun. So that means that the gun had to have come by way of the FBI, because you can't get a hold of those guns unless you're really an FBI agent or something like this. So here's the real lowdown. This guy was Barry Bush. He was an FBI agent that had been killed in April of 2007. Not this Anthony Shark, a retired NYPD cop. And they said he was legally carrying a gun for a security guard job, and that he was drunk and so forth. That he had no intentions of doing anything. But the real fact is, they did have this plan. They've got these agents that appear to have died. They set it all up and say, oh, they died some years ago. And then that way they can operate undercover, because it's supposedly they're dead. There's no record of this person. The only problem is this guy got caught. And so they had to come up with this other story to cover it up. And all the news media organizations are in on it. And they're going to say that the story that I'm telling you is not the true story. This is how the FBI works, friends. We pay these guys for what? Espionage? For murdering people? For assassinating JFK? And attempted assassinations on our presidents and our nominees? What do they do? What are they really doing? Trying to get rid of Snowden? Who's trying to release, evidence that the government's killing us? But the FBI, we're paying these people with guns to go around and, in back alleys and murder people? And so the FBI, instead of being out there trying to get rid of crime, they're out there actually creating crime. And then they're used in these high-level assassination attempts. Friends, do you realize that the military is one of the largest expenses that we have in the world? Trillions of dollars are spent, and all that money is being looted from you, the taxpayer. For what? For our protection? Friends, these elite bankers own everything. We don't need protection from ourselves or from governments. We need protection from them. They own our governments, and it's a little game. They prop ISIS up to scare us, and then they say, oh, well, we need more police now. We need more, they prop this Kim Jong-un up over here and say he's going to kill us with nuclear weapons, but it's just a scam so that we'll be scared and we'll give him more money. It's like the mafia who comes with a baseball bat and says, hey, you want protection? And you say, no, I don't need protection. And they take the baseball bat, smack the back of your car, and bust the window out and say, yes, you do. You need protection from me. Now give me, my money. So this is what's happening, friends. We're under the largest scam conspiracy in human history. The government now holds us hostage. And when a person comes up that might actually be saying something good and, a rogue person running for president, they will murder him. Either, first they're going to try and steal the election. If they can't do that, friends, things get out of their control sometimes. If the popular support for Trump gets out of hand and they end up electing him as president, they will murder him, friends. And it will be the people that are on Hillary's side. They're the ones using her as their puppet. It's, Bush is on her side. The Bushes are on Hillary's side, friends. The Republicans and the Democrats are all on the same side. But I actually believe that they do allow, sometimes, certain rogue elements to get popular. Because they think they're so powerful that they can, in the end, stop people from electing him. But just have him out there so that everybody thinks that we've debated all of this and we all chose Hillary. See, it was just our decision. When really, in fact, the polls are not telling the truth and we're not choosing Hillary. So, friends, this is the big story. You have to understand that I'm well aware of the fact that some of the stuff that I'm telling you guys could actually be getting me in trouble. I don't think they're going to be really worried about me yet because I don't have a lot of support. Not a lot of people are watching. Not millions and millions of people know who I am. But friends, yes, we have to take the risk because we have to expose these people or else our country's over. So they made it look like this guy was dead and they used him because he had no identity. And they gave him this gun that had a silencer on it. He goes in there to try and assassinate Donald Trump, and somehow their little plan failed. So they've got this crazy story going around. So friends, I just thought you guys liked to know. This here's David Vos. I'm going to go ahead and sign out, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. You have a great day.